What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of AMS Movie Reviews. I'm Adrian Michael Soto, discussing things about recent movie reviews. I was going into my podcast. Today's movie review is Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning, Part One, and this is directed by Christopher McQuarrie, starring Tom Cruise, Haley Atwell, Ving Rhames, Simon Pegg, Rebecca Ferguson, Vanessa Kirby, and Henry Shusri. And basically, the premise of this movie is Ethan Hunt is at it again with the world at stake. There is a mysterious item that is needed to be that needs to be um, gained before it is. I'm already Let me just read what I wrote because I'm already going to be confusing myself. Ethan and his team must track down a terrifying weapon that can cause the ultimate destruction. With the world at stake, Ethan will encounter a race against time with new enemies, allies trying to complete his mission. He must also realize will it be important to save the people he cares about the most. And overall, as some of you have maybe seen the Mission Impossible movies or know what Tom Cruise does, the man is in his 60s and has done his stunts since I believe the very first Mission Impossible back in 1996. I believe it was part 4 or 5 that he literally broke his ankle jumping from one building to another. And if you probably Google Tom Cruise breaking his ankle, he literally, as he gets up on top of the building, is like limping, and they kept that in the scene. This man, there is a lot of action scenes, car chases, fight scenes. Tom Cruise doing stunts where, as you probably have seen on the trailer, he does jump off a cliff and in a motorcycle flying in the air. He did that about 7 times behind the scenes. And I need to be practicing on my cardio because Tom Cruise runs like if he's 20 years old. As I just stated, I believe about a few weeks back at the time of this recording, he just celebrated his 61st birthday. And these movies are just awesome to see. I was thoroughly entertained. All the returning actors like Simon Pegg being, I can't believe I just drew a blank. Simon Pegg and yeah, Ving Rhames. I don't know why Ving Rhames. They work good together. I like Rebecca Ferguson. She's um since the previous 2 films that she's been on with Tom Cruise. Haley Atwell is a wonderful addition to the series. Palm Clementif plays a villain. She's very good at playing a villain, even though some may recognize her from the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, but she does a fantastic job here. And this movie clocks in at about 2 hours and 30 minutes, more or less. And you don't feel it when you're watching the movie. This will be a non spoiler. If you once you've seen it, you can definitely check out anybody else that gives a spoiler, but you don't feel it because even though this franchise is based on a television series, Tom Cruise has kind of put his stamp on it. And I believe I heard this on YouTube or on the internet. You can consider this like a Americanized version of James Bond because James Bond is British and Ethan Hunt is an American. So you deal with the technology, the disguises, the action, the moments, the villains, and it's one of those that you're on the edge of your seat. There's very funny moments. There's moments where you're like, "Oh my god, why is Tom Cruise doing this?" and it just leaves you in excitement. And I'm just like, I think I have to go through the Tom Cruise regimen because the man doesn't look like he ages, which is just interesting. But what's also interesting is when you go through each moment, they do go to different parts of the world, and that becomes a character in its own. And once you go through the different parts of the world, you get the next part of the story in the film. Then expect a pretty cool action scene moment. My favorite part, one of my favorite parts was a car chase scene. Might have seen it in the trailer. I'll leave it at that. There's a very cool part, the airport, their um airport chase, a couple of cool fight scenes, and especially the third act of the film. And just, I can't give any more positive than that. Um, like I always say, I enjoyed it from start to finish. If I had to give it a critique, the only critique I would say is this is part one. Part two is expected to come out. No spoilers. Once again, part two is expected to come out around the summer of next year, and I believe they're currently filming it as of right now. But the only critique I'd have is I would want part two right now because the way it ends. That's all I'm gonna say. It's just like you want it, you want to consume it. I'm gonna go as high as to say that this is one of my top two or three films thus far this year in 2023, next to Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I, I can't believe I drew a brain farts, but Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse and Air. Yes, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, and this one's up there. Just the way overall all these other actors um, blend in with the story. It's just a fascinating to see and watch, and it's definitely a summer popcorn movie. If you're not, if you haven't previously seen any of these movies, they kind of the gist they'll reference stuff of kind of nods to different movies of the past, but if you want to just go in blind, then that's fine. But you'll have six other movies to watch because this is, I believe, the seventh film. And like I said, the eighth film is coming up. So definitely let me know once you've all seen it. Did you enjoy it? Are you going to check it out? Give me your thoughts. I'm giving this one a 9 out of 10. Fantastic movie for the summer. And that's it for now, guys. I'm Adrian Michael Soto. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye for now.